YouTube. It's the end of week 1. Yay! Got some notes here on the computer, so if you see me looking over, I want to make sure I talk about everything. So how did it go? It went really, really well. I am surprised how well it went. It was a really easy program to follow. It's not confusing at all. Well, it's a little confusing with the lean and greens and if you're making your own recipe, trying to figure out what you're doing. But other than that, it was really easy and a really good, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this week. It was really good. So for hunger, first few days, it was like, give me a Snickers, I'm going to shank somebody. Like, I was very hungry. There was always the symphony of hunger in the background. Then it transitioned to just like the symphony in the background saying, hey, you're hungry, you want to eat. Especially since the portions are so small and I like to eat a lot. So I would eat something and it was kind of like my body saying, that's it. That's all we get. And then it transitioned to about every 2 hours. I was super hungry. And then it transitioned to about every 2.5 hours when I started making the food and starting to get things ready. I was like, oh, okay, I'm hungry now. I want to eat. And it got better. And then day 5, it was perfect. It was perfect. I'm not starving. I'm not crazy hungry. I'm in the groove and I like it. So, and then how I felt, it was kind of a weird thing. It was like every other day. So on the days I felt good, I felt the best I've probably ever felt in a long time. So that was a really big positive. And then on the bad days, I was achy and headaches and just feeling unwell and no energy. And I just didn't want to do anything and just felt really sick. And that was like an every other day thing until about day 5. And then it was just like day 5 was just kind of but not as bad. So that was good. I was very thirsty too through this whole thing, like really thirsty. I'm really thirsty now. So then the fuelings. Overall, the fuelings taste okay. They're not the best thing I have ever eaten, and they are also not the worst thing I've ever eaten. So far, none of the fuelings I've ate that I'm like, God, I will never eat this again. It's disgusting. Overall, the bars, as far as flavors go, were the best flavors, but they're so small. So small. My favorite fueling is the vanilla shake. It's like having a milkshake. Love it. I actually am going to order an extra box of the vanilla shake for the next order because it was really good. That's my favorite one. I did add cream cheese into the vanilla shake because people said that was amazing. I didn't notice any difference. It was just like, okay. So those are... Oh, and then the pasta dishes, I tried one of them, and my boyfriend said that all the pasta dishes, the pasta doesn't cook all the way through, so you're like munching on like crunchy pasta, which is kind of gross. I did try the rustic penne with tomato sauce, I think it's called, and that was really good, and I'm going to order that next time. And then me personally, I'm having trouble when they say add water, like with the oatmeal, making everything super watery and like soup. When I made the penne, it was like soup. That could just be my brain fog and me putting the wrong water content to it. I do that a lot. If you don't know what brain fog is, it's literally like your brain is covered in a fog and you can't remember how to do things, or you misdo things a lot. So that could just be a personal thing for me and not user error. Let's put it that way. I loved having the schedule. I loved having overall, I loved having the smaller meals. People with my condition do better with smaller meals, so I've always been trying to figure out how to incorporate that into my life, and I like this. I don't feel so taxed when I'm trying to digest the food I've ate, which is helping with my energy level a lot. So I did like the schedule, and it helps me keep focused on what I'm doing. I like to be told, this is what you're eating, this is when you're eating, this is how you're eating, and I don't have to think about it. So I liked that. Let's get on to the lean and greens. So much easier to make. Oh my God. I would meal prep about 2 lean and greens on a day for about 4 to 6 days of food. First of all, it was hard on me, obviously, very hard, but not as hard as normal. I would try to do some meal prep with the vegan stuff. and I might get through 1.5 meals and then have to take a nap. This wasn't bad at all, at all, at all. Cleanup was a breeze. Other than the meal prep, there's not a lot of dishes to do, not a lot of cleaning up in the kitchen. Oh my God, save me some energy. I love it. So lean and greens are good. The broccoli bake, which I made, and if you want to see any of these recipes, I have videos on how to make them. Broccoli bake was probably our least favorite. Not that it tasted bad, it just had no flavor. It just tastes like eggs and broccoli. There was no flavor. And it was very light and airy, and when we're getting not that much food, you kind of want to feel like you're getting something for your lean and green, and this did not do it. So we probably won't make that one again. Other than that, all the other lean and greens we made were amazing, delicious, loved them. Definitely going to be making the chicken enchilada again. That was awesome. And then we tried bison, and I love bison. It's like ground beef, but you can tell that there's not as much fat, and it's awesome. So much awesome that I went online and bought a meat pack of bison, like steaks and ground bison and that kind of thing, to try some more of it because it was good. I recommend it. Delicious. We're gonna get some more. And then oh, my boyfriend's favorite fueling, forgot to add this, was the basically the mac and cheese, the buttermilk mac and cheese. That was his favorite. And I also made the cheesecakes that everyone was raving about with the fuelings. That's not a cheesecake. It has no consistency of a cheesecake, which kind of was concerning. It's like rubber with a fueling on the bottom. I'm not going to make that again for myself. I mean, you got a lot, so that kind of made it feel like kind of special, like, oh, we're going to eat this. It's a lot of food. But it was gross. Just for the texture purposes of it, it was like eating rubber with a fueling on the bottom. I don't think I'm going to make that again. My goal was to get 1 gallon of water per day, which I'm glad to say I did. I did put the jug of water in the fridge, and that's not a good strategy for me. I have problems with muscle weakness. Some days I can't even get out of a room with a closed door because I don't have the energy to open the door or the muscle strength. So I have to come up with a new strategy with that gallon water jug because some days I couldn't even get it out of the fridge. So I just measured my water bottles and drank that way. But I do like the idea of having something you can visually see and it going down. So I'm going to have to come up with something else. I haven't thought about that yet, but I'll get to it. I'll figure it out. That as far as the books. So the Habits of Health, I'm pretty much almost done with it. I loved it. I'm actually incorporating their sleep schedule and morning schedule routine, which I like. I know we're all in quarantine right now, so quarantine for me was like when I was super sick, and even now I don't do a lot. I'm home all the time. I do go out here and there, and I like that I'm on a schedule now. Like before, when I went to bed, I would just get so tired and then pass out. But now I have a schedule. You're going to bed at this time. You have all of these things you're going to do before you go to bed to get ready and prepared. I do feel like I'm getting a deeper sleep doing that. And then in the morning, instead of just, because mornings are really hard for me, instead of just laying on the couch all morning and then deciding in the afternoon I better get something done for today, I actually have a routine, kind of gets my body ready, and I feel like I'm getting more things done. So that's really good, and I'm incorporating that, and that's one of the habits of health with sleep. So I started incorporating that because I really liked that when I read it in the book. But I love the book. And then the life journal, I was really enjoying it and doing it, and realized that each section is supposed to be a 1 or 2 week process, and you're supposed to like really think about it for 1 or 2 weeks and really write it out and really get into it. So I've put my life book on the shelf for right now. I'm gonna process what I've learned and read, and then come back to it because I was speeding through it. I was doing it every night. I was like, oh, this is awesome. You're supposed to like every 1 to 2 weeks cover a new topic, really think about it and digest it. And I wasn't doing that. So I got to get back to that. Okay, so now what you've all been waiting for, how much weight did I lose? I lost 6 pounds. 6 pounds! And I know probably a lot of that was water. Like I said before, I don't do well with carbs or gluten or anything like that. Vegan diet is carbs, it's starchy vegetables, it's a lot of that, and I was very bloated, like very bloated, and I knew that. And so I'm glad I'm not bloated now, and I'm glad to have that all off of my body. I only measured my hips, my waist, and my bust. It's really difficult if you're alone to measure your arms. And unfortunately, I don't, So, waist, I lost a half an inch. I didn't lose anything in my hips, but it's going to be that time of the month next week, and I think I'm a little swollen. And then the bust, of course, as women, we all know we lose in the bust. I lost 1.5 inches in the bust. We all know. That's the first thing to go when you start losing weight. It sucks, but it's true. And let's see. Next week, week 2, they want us to eat, be more mindful when we're eating, to spend 15 minutes a day chewing our food and eating our fuelings. These fuelings are so small, I don't know how that's going to happen. I'm going to try. I mean, we were only in this river once. You're never in the river twice, the same river twice. That's how that saying goes. So I will definitely try to eat the fuelings within 15 minutes, but let's be honest, they're small. I don't know how that's going to happen. I mean, with the lean and green, that's possible. So this week they just want to be more mindful, pay attention. How do you feel? How does, this program feel? What does this program mean to you? That kind of thing. So I'm excited for week 2. I'm ready to go. Like I said, I'm feeling really good. And since day 5, things have been getting better as far as the achy and the cruddy feeling. So I'm feeling really good. And keeping up my WALKs with my puppy, and just ready to go. So I hope this video was informative and helpful. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I would love to answer them. And look out for some more lean and green recipes. We're going to be making some more food. And if you haven't checked out the ones I've already done, please do, because the recipes are amazing. They're so good. And I will see you guys later.